Hello, we continue our tour with one of the most interesting stops in my opinion. I hope you're enjoying the tour and that you're learning a lot about the city. We've already talked about the foundation and its evolution. Now let's go into more detail about Barcino. We continue on to the Plaza Nova, the cathedral square near the letters of Barcino, and in front of these imposing towers set in the shape of a gate. To its left, we can see the remains of the continuation of the wall and a piece of what looks like the main aqueduct, which we've already talked about. However, wait, because I will let you on about a little secret of these remains just a bit later. We are at one of the entrances to the walls of Barcino. The Roman city had 4 gates facing northwest, southwest, northeast, and southeast, and occupied the core of what is now the Gothic quarter, as shown on the map. These towers are known as the Prisbe, or Bishop's Gate, and are the old Praetoria de Barcino Gate, the gate facing west. The Roman Republic first entered the peninsula in 218 BC to encounter the power of the Carthaginians. During a slow process of conquest, the Emperor Augustus would conclude the control of the peninsula. It was under his mandate that the city was founded under the name of Colonia Lulia Augusta Faventina Paterna Barcino. But why this location? Barcino comes from the Iberians, the original name given by the natives of this area, which in their language seems to mean the one with the most good plants or vegetables. The aim was to take advantage of the natural port for the arrival of the Mediterranean axis and also the northern axis, the Via Augustus, as it was close to the only border with the Europe by land. This would give it a rapid commercial and economic development, and if it was to be built here, the city had to be at the top of the plain. For this reason, the first Roman settlement was on Mount Tabor, very close to the center of what was once Barcino and where the Augustus Temple is located, which we will see later on. The shape of Barcino had the usual organizing axes, Cardo Maximo from north to south and Decamanus Maximus from west to east, which would converge in the Plaza de San Jean. With the foundation of Barcino, a low and modest wall was built, with 4 gates and a few towers. This wall that we see today consisted of a double wall filled with stone and 81 towers, 10 with a semicircular base like those of the Prisbe gates, and the rest like the 2 towers we see here. The maximum splendor of the city would come during the 2nd and 3rd centuries. Do you have any idea of the number of inhabitants it had? It barely had a population of between 3,500 and 5,000 inhabitants. A lot less than, for example, Taraco, today's Tarragona, which had between 3,500 and 5,000 inhabitants. 30,000 and nothing compared to the 1,600,000 inhabitants of Barcelona today. However, threats from the Franks and the Alemans in 250 AD led to the reinforcement of the wall with the new wall on the basis of the first one, which was completed 100 years later. These that you see are false remains built in 1958. However, I have to tell you that if you visit the Casa Ardiaca, which is the palace next to the wall and which you enter through the parallel road, you can see an old cistern with a double channel that gives you the idea that this is where the 2 aqueducts that reach the city converged. Finally, I have to give you a little disappointment. I had told you that the remains of the aqueduct that we had seen were the only ones, and now we find these that you see. No, I had not lied to you. Visits are free of charge from 9 till 8:45, on Saturdays until 1, and in August until 7:30. We're now halfway through the tour, and I hope you still have strength, because the best is yet to come.